Good afternoon, students. Today I am going to explain the topic placement, induction, and socialization. A small topic in the second unit. I just want to explain what is first. I want to take up what is placement. Most of the time we heard the word placement. Meaning of placement. Placement is a process of assigning a specific job to each of the selected candidates. So, through recruitment, through selection, we have selected the candidates. Now, once the candidates will be selected, the organization's duty or the responsibility is assigning or giving him a specific job. And though they were being selected for some special positions or designations, but a job should be assigned to them. What they have to do in the morning, what files they need to complete, all these things they have to be given basing on their rank and the responsibility. So it is nothing but matching the requirements of a job with the qualifications of the candidate. See, for example, after completion of MBA HR, if a person being selected as a HR executive, what he has to do as an executive of the HR, what responsibilities he has to discharge, this information the supervisor has to given to the candidate. Thus, placement may include initial assignment of a job to new employee. So you are new to the organization, you don't know anything. So what jobs you have to do in the initial days that will be assigned through the employee. Or suppose not only the employees who are newly recruited, but even for the employees who are just newly transferred or promotioned or came from another branch, for them also placement is necessary, placement is needed. So what is definition of placement? Placement is the determination of the, so the definition was given by Myers and Pigos. It is the determination of the job to which an accepted candidate is to be assigned and his assignment to that job. So what duties will be assigned to him and how he was assigned to the job, this is being determined in the placement. It is matching what the supervisor has reason to think he can do with the job demands, and it is matching what he imposes in the sense, in other words, we can say it is a matching of the job with the employee. Matching of the job. This particular job can be performed? How much of strain he is giving? How much of strain he is delegating? What type of working conditions he is going to work? And what are the requirements that an organization is expecting from him? All these things will be discussed. Will be discharged here. Will be determined, to say correctly. Will be determined here. Not only the requirements, not only the duties, not only the matching the working conditions with the employee, but at the same time, it is also a matching between the offers also. How much of compensation, what is the payroll, what is the salary expectations of an employee will also be matched here, right? Through placement only, the future promotional aspects of an employee will also be decided. And now the next slide, I'm going to explain about the model of placing newly hired employees. So everywhere there is a model. Every organization will follow a sequence of steps or a model how to place the employees. Suppose new employee enters. See, for example, on the day one of your class, we have been asked you to sit in the group discussion room, or sometimes we ask you to sit in the library hall. Then we allot you the classrooms, temporary classrooms, then permanent classrooms. In such a way, every organization will have a model. Now, this model, which I have mentioned in this particular slideshow, depicts that the first point, the first stage in this model is collect details about the employee. So, a form will be given, an application will be given, ask them to write down everything, to write down their name, their basic information. That is, what are their qualifications, what is their name and age, and next one is their expectations, their hobbies. Everything will be asked from the employee. Just like in our college, we give you a student data. In order to gather the student data, we just give you student profile. A form called student profile will be assigned to you, and we are asking you to write down everything, the details, the mail ID, the address, the permanent address, everything will be there, and the Aadhaar number, etc. In the same way, we have to collect the details from the employee and construct his profile. Basing on the details, his profile, his job profile, his personal profile will be constructed. Later, the third stage is matching individual profile with the best suited job family profile. So we gather the data from the employee through asking him by writing down everything on a paper. Now, after collecting the data, after preparing a profile, we just look at what are the job family, how many employees are there in the organization, to whom he is going to match. His qualifications does match to the HR manager or finance or the department of production or department of research, where his profile is going to match with other persons in the job family. Next one is match the subgroup profile with the best suited job family profile. Match the subgroup profile. So see, we have different groups in the organization, different teams in the organization. Each and every team has certain employees, has a group of employees. Does this particular person's profile, does this person individual employee profile does match with the other profile, other family profile of the different employees, other family profile of the job family profile. Job family profile in the sense, suppose he's a HR manager, whether his profile does matches to the HR department. In the HR department, does it matches to the performance appraisal, or in the training section, or in the grievance section, where he is going to be matched. This is called as job family. Assign the individual to the job family. So if the person is very much fit at training, let him place in the training. If the employee is very much fit at operations, let him place in the operations. If the person is very much fit at the reception, let him place in the reception. So that is called as a job family. Assign the individual to specific job after further counseling and assessment. So initially we assign them either in the process of recruitment, training, production, finance, basing on his profile. But later, after having a discussion with him, again further we can assign him the new jobs after assessment and counseling. And coming to the next slide, what is an induction? So I have completed the placement. So placement is nothing but placing an employee in a proper way, in a proper job. The selected candidates will be placed in a proper job, assigning them the specific rank and the responsibility. That is called as placement. Most of the time you heard in the placement, right? Placing you. Now next concept is induction. Induction is nothing but introducing a new employee to the existing people. See, for example, for example, let us take for example a new employee who was newly recruited into the organization. He went to the office at 10 o'clock. He is unknown to everybody, and everybody is unknown to him. Everybody is new to him. He doesn't know anybody to whom he has to meet and to whom he has to talk. Nothing known to him. So, like at that stage, at that point, as a supervisor, as a boss, what you have to do is you need to introduce the new employee to the people who are sitting there. Either whatever be the department, you have to introduce to each and every department, informing him this is so and so, and this is a total employees group. This is called as induction. Induction is the process of introducing a new employee to his job and organization. So, my dear students, not only induction is introducing the person or the employee to the employees of the organization, but at the same time introducing the job, what he has to do, what he has to discharge, and what are the responsibilities he has to perform. The purpose of induction is to welcome a new employee and inform them about the organization culture, introduce them to their team and co-workers, give them an understanding of their job. So simple, so simple. Just like a new person enter into our family, a guest enters into our family, how we introduce to each other, and slowly how we just explain him, slowly how we interact with him, what is the culture of our house, what is the culture of our family, how our kids are, how our kids, what are their habits, what they do, what they choose, everything we slowly make him to know about the entire family, so that the person will be imbibed into the family. So a culture, a cooperation will be generated. So to confront that, a new employee will be introduced about the organization culture, about the workers, about the team, at the same time how to do work, how to understand work, and the policies of the organization, so that he will get some guidelines how to perform. What suppose a policy of attendance, a policy of leave, a policy of taking permissions. If these policies are known to him, it is very familiar for him. It will be easy for him in the future. He can use them. Right? That is called as induction. What is the definition of induction? Michael Armstrong has given a clear definition of induction. Induction or orientation is the process of receiving and welcoming an employee when he first joins a company and giving him his basic information he needs to settle down quickly and happily and start work. So see, once you join the organization, you are new to the organization, so you have a feeling of hesitation and you always think of whether I should do or not. Somebody will scold, somebody will tell anything, or there's some wrong thing maybe done by you. This kind of ambiguity, this kind of hesitation will prevail in you. So avoid such kind of hesitation and ambiguity. Let us give him some knowledge, like what is welcome him, and give him the basic information where he has to sit, and who is who, like who is the boss, who is the superior, who is the subordinate, and who is the cashier, who is the clerk, like who is who, that kind of information, so that he will be settled quickly and comfortably and happily he can start work. And next one is objectives of induction to reduce confusion and waste of time and resources. So here I have mentioned 3 to 4 objectives, and these objectives are self-explainable. Obviously, when you have been introduced to everything in the organization or into the company, so it is easy for you. See, so for example, somebody told you where to go to Bandar Road, and somebody told you just move on straight, take the right, take the left, and if clearly they inform you, they clearly explain you, it will be easy for you to reach to the destination where you want to go. In the same way, so once you got the information, once you got the plan how to reach to a particular location, you are reducing the time as well as you don't have a confusion in your mind, and you are reducing the resources also, and at the same time there is no confusion, there is no anxiety, shyness will also be reduced, because who is who, to whom you have to report, where you have to go, everything is known to you, so obviously you are going to reduce your shyness, your anxiety, etc. And a kind of nervousness will also be there. A nervousness, let us take example of brides and bridegrooms, how they feel nervous in the initial days when they enter into the in-laws house. So that kind of anxiety, nervousness will be eradicated, will be reduced if you have been introduced to the environment. Employees introduce the employees, their job, company culture, policies, workplace, work environment, and the peoples of the organization. So here, obviously, not only the job the person has to perform, and the culture, policies, the workplace, the work environment, everything. Even sometimes, what will happen? Most of the times the employees doesn't know where the toilets are, where's the if the ladies are there, if the girls, if the women employees are there, they doesn't know where is the she toilets, and this kind of anxiety, nervousness, shyness will be there for the employees, women employees particularly. If you are free and to explain them what is the environment, where are the rooms, restroom, where is the restroom, where is the lunch room, where the women's washroom is there, if you have been freely explain them the environment existing, the women employees are also very friendly, they will be very good, or else they will be very cautious at the initial stages. And next one is, at the same time, there are 2 more objectives, that to ensure that the new employees does not form a negative perception. Suppose you have not introduced them, you didn't inform them who is who, to whom he has to report, where is he has to sit. Nothing you have informed them. Suppose the new employee once he entered into the organization, he went away and he sat at the boss room, at the boss chair. It's like something like a negative opinion will be formed in the minds of the boss, as well as the employee perception will also become negative. Nobody has informed me that I went there to the boss room and I sat there in the boss chair. See, this kind of misunderstanding may develop. If this misunderstanding should not develop, you have to inform the employee. You should take the initiative and explain him where he has to sit, where he has to be placed, what the duties he has to do, to whom he has to report. The such kind of things is called as induction. It brings good relations also. Now I'll move to the contents of induction program. Coming to the contents of induction program, basically from the previous slides also I'm explaining the same points. Again here some more other additional points will be there. See, I just read out because these are the self-explainable points. We are just through induction program, we are telling him the history, the philosophy, and the operations of the company, the products and the services of the company. Suppose if the company has has different types of products, and what are the products being manufactured by the company, what are the services that the company is offering, not only the services to the customers, services to the employees also, like welfare activities, welfare facilities, or benefits that the companies are providing to the employees, and organization structure of the employee, who is the president, who is the vice president, who is the boss, executive. That means we are explaining the hierarchy of the organization, the hierarchy to whom the employee, the new employee has to report. Everything will be given in the organization structure, and the location of the department, and location of the department, and the facilities available, the conveyance available for the employee, and where is the lunch room. These things will be informed to the employees. Personal policies and practices. Personal means employee policies, like benefits, compensation benefits, or else leave benefits, or else you can say personal policies means salary encashment, or or bills encashment. These things will be informed to the employees. Employees activities, what employees has to do, and rules and regulations. For example, no smoking zone will be there, and sometimes smoking zone will be given to the people who are habituated for smoking. These things will be informed to the employees, so that they will be free to the organization. Again, we have a procedure of giving grievances. Suppose if any complaint is there, if any kind of problem is there, dissatisfaction is there, to whom they have to report, how the grievances will be solved, in how many days you will get an amicable solution for the grievances. All these things should be given in notice to the new employees. Safety measures, standing orders, terms and conditions of services, benefits and services, opportunities for training, promotions, transfers, etc. Standing orders. This is legal orders, statutory orders. Now, the statutory orders, standing orders are being governed, are being levied by the government of India or by the labor laws, and how the employees has to follow. That also be given. That also be informed to the employees. So these are the points. These are the points which refers what are the contents we need to provide through induction, and as well as through placement. Now, induction procedure. So every company will follow a procedure, but company to company it will vary, and need not necessarily whatever the points I have mentioned in the slide that every company should follow. But theoretically what has been given is the induction procedure should have certain sequence of steps. Now, if these sequence of steps will be followed, it will be of utmost importance for the organization. If this one being followed correctly and promptly, it has been said that the HR is functioning in a proper way in that organization. Like first one is the new person needs time and place to report to work. First, let him give some space, let him give some time, so that he will slowly report to the work. Just by entering him, assigning the files, and asking him reporting him, asking him to report immediately, it will be difficult for him. Let him understand the work, let him understand the files. So let him give some time. Second, it is very important that the supervisor or the immediate boss meet and welcome the employee to the organization. So it is very good. It's a very good practice if the boss or the supervisor or the immediate person invites him or receives him into the organization. Administrative work should be completed. The third is administrative. What administrative work means, writing down his paper, his name in the register, giving him an employee code, where he has to sit, his cabin, and everything, whatever he needs in order to work in the organization, that administrative work should be completed. Departmental orientation. So, suppose he is a person from HR, he is a person from finance or production. So, the department, the people who are already existing there, the employees who are already existing there, for them, with them also, he has to be get a orientation. And verbal explanations are supplemented by wide variety of printed form. Verbal explanations in the sense written explanations, whether it is a memo or it is a rule or it is a procedure or it is a practice, they should be supplemented in a separate paper, in a printed form. Right? This is called as an induction procedure. Hope you understood the induction procedure. Now we come to the socialization. So socialization means a man is a social animal. We want to move with people. We want to together with people. But this become a problem nowadays. So socialization become a problem. Now people are telling that no socialization, social distance nowadays. So, meaning of socialization. So, once you, as a new employee, you entered into the organization, so you are new to the environment and to the working conditions there. So, let us make you free. Let us make you confident. Let us make you happy. So, in that we have to create a culture that reduces anxiety for the new hires. So, for that, what we have to do? It refers to the process of making the new employees get acquainted to the new environment of the organization. This reduces the anxiety of the new hires and allow them to adjust with other existing employees in the company. So when this can be possible, when it will be possible, when the colleagues and the co-workers are friendly, they are chatting with you, they come to you and they start discussing, they asking things, they start inviting you for the lunch or for the breakfast or for a coffee and have a discussion, a friendly discussion, then obviously you will get free. You get free, you're going to be socialized with them, you are going to move with them, you are going to walk with them, and you will be very friendly with them. It creates you some kind of happiness to work and a kind of closeness. Yes, this is my organization, these are my colleagues, they're very friendly like that. In fact, induction is a part of socialization. There is no such difference between the induction and the socialization. Induction is a part of induction first, then socialization. Definition of socialization: the process of learning the ropes, the process of being indoctrinated and trained, and the process of being taught what is important in our life. The process of learning the ropes, and ropes in the sense the chains. The chains in the sense who is the immediate person to whom you have to report, who is your colleague, who is your counterpart. This is called a rope. Rope shows, rope is nothing but connecting the people. Rope is a connecting people. Rope is a bonding people. Rope indicates the togetherness. So learning rope, there should not be any disconnection. There should not be any break in the rope. So process of learning the ropes, being indoctrinated and trained, how to be understood, how to be stabilized, how to trained, and being taught. Being taught in the sense being explained. That is important in the organization. That is called as socialization. And now the next slide explains one more point. That's what I have explained. Now, the phases of socialization, the phases, step by step phases of socialization. Pre-arrival. Pre-arrival, just like flight, see, aeroplane or flights, before pre-arrival, we will be asked to have a checkout. Our luggages will have a checkout. We ourselves have a checkout. A key-in check will be going on. That is before pre-arrival announcements will be going on. So like that, pre-arrival, before you arrive into the organization, what are the steps? Like before a new employee enters into the organization, the boss has to inform that we have hired so-and-so, or a boss or a person. He is from so-and-so family, he is having the qualifications, he is having this kind of skills, knowledge. Let us hope that he will be very friendly with us. This kind of few words or good words have to be announced before a person reaches or enters into the organization. Encounter. Encounter doesn't mean that how the police people encounters that Naxalites or Maoist. It doesn't mean the encounter means attacking. Encounter means here it is nothing but the waiting. Encounter means waiting here. Waiting in the sense, just employee enters, don't attack him. Don't start staring at him. Don't give him the plenty of works or bundles of files. Let him give some time. Let him give some waiting. Okay, this is called as encounter. Encounter in the sense how much of time he will be given in order to understand, in order to stabilize himself, in order to mingle with others. That is called as encounter here. It is not like attacking him. Next, metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means, this metamorphosis is a phase which we used to saw in animals, in insects. How the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, how the small frog becomes a frog, how the stages of changes in the body of an insect is called as a metamorphosis. So how the stages in changes of our life, like how in the starting we are very very much isolated. See, for example, yourself at the day one of MBA, you are very much isolated, lonely. You don't want to talk with your friend. You don't know how to talk with the person who is sitting beside or behind. But now you are very friendly with all of your friends. Your entire class is a friend for you. So in such a way, you need to to give time to convert yourself into the next stage of friendliness and movement with everybody. That is called as metamorphosis. So these are the three stages and the phases of socialization. And socialization and training, both to some extent will be considered as one and the same. It is an initial training. Most of the organizations treat socialization as an initial training, a pre-training, so that employees will be induced or they will be intentionally coming close to the organization, coming close to the colleagues and their duties, etc. Workplace relationships plays a significant role in our experiences and enjoyment at work. So obviously, most of the time, that is most of the time period of our age, most of the period of our life cycle will spend in the organizations, in the jobs. So our colleagues, our work environment, our management makes us feel happy, makes us feel very comfortable. And if you are feel happy, if you are comfortable, if you are enjoying the work, obviously you enjoy the environment also, you enjoy the culture of the organization, and it gives in result the good productivity. So most of the organizations and the management try to focus more on the initial phase, initial metamorphosis of the employee, new employee, like how to receive him, how to give him, how to assign the duties, responsibility, how to make him comfortable in the organization, what kind of information should be given to him. This kind of things will be given more importance nowadays by the organizations. So with this, the topic is over. This is a very small topic. This topic will be asked as a short questions for you, like a small essay questions. Each and every topic will be a short essay for you, like induction, socialization, and orientation. Okay, thank you very much.